What's up, guys? I'm not just trying to show you my puffy chest, but there's a beautiful sunset, and when I move the camera, it doesn't pick it up. So I wanted to show you guys all the pretty colors while we're hanging out here. I want to give you guys in this video a step-by-step plan going from 10 to 100 clients, and I'm going to show it to you guys in a way where actually 100 clients is easier to manage than 10. I know it sounds kind of backwards. If you got 10 and you know you're working like 40 to 80 hours a week, that may sound a little crazy, but I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. So we're going to get into a step-by-step plan, so let's do just that. All right, I switched up my taglines there. How are we going to do that? So for those of you guys who got like, 5, 10 clients and you want to scale the thing up, couple of steps you're going to need to do, and I want to lay for you guys out a very systematic step-by-step plan, at least a high level, so you can see what you're going to do, because when you do this, like I said, it's actually easier to manage 100 clients than 10, which probably seems kind of crazy when you got 10 clients and everything's chaotic and a mess and you're fighting fires all day long. So let's get into the plan.
But listen up. I got a 3-point plan to fix everything.
Break it down.
Number 1, we got this guy,
Frankie Finn. Break it down, Frankie Finn. All right. Thing number 1. Let's break it down. Break it down. Okay? You have to shrink the size of your offering, which means you're probably going to have to cut actually a couple of clients. Almost always, I would say, before you got to, because you want your deliverable, instead of being like we do SEO and we do AdWords, you want just one deliverable for one market that solves one single problem. One and one only. And you want to think about when McDonald's first started, all you could buy were hamburgers and French fries. Well, I guess that's 2 offers, but one thing is basically what you could get. When Amazon first started, you could only get books, right? So you want to have this tiny, tiny little deliverable that you can put, you look through here is we do this, and literally everything else you want to refer out. Maybe you can get affiliate commissions or referral fees, but everything else is going to be an enemy to scale, because as soon as you start having different deliverables, you're going to be screwed. So I always say it's the difference between custom and customization. Custom is when you reinvent the wheel with each and every single client. Customization is sure, I can change your colors. We were actually just looking at in our mastermind this dude who his service delivery is a newsletter, and obviously he's going to change it to your letterhead and your colors and your phone number. But man, it's the same damn newsletter that everybody's getting, right? Every lawyer gets the same damn newsletter in the same kind of framework, right? So you don't want to be reinventing the wheel with each client. So you got to shrink the size of your offering so there's only one wheel you're making. Your McDonald's making a hamburger. Your Amazon selling books. You feeling what I'm saying?
You have the ring. And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Now let's see how well you handle it.
All right, guys. My kids were melting down in the background. That's a strategically placed cut scene because I lost my train of thought. Let's see if we can see the mountains over there. I don't know if we can see the mountains. They're very pretty, but I guess you can't see them from here. So, number 2, once you've shrunk your service offering, you have to systematize and process. And I'll tell you, this is probably the most boring shit you'll ever do in your life. But everything you do, you got to document or record in a video so that somebody can follow your process step by step. You set up a landing page, explain how that landing page gets set up step by step. Installing tracking code, explain how that gets done step by step. Running ads for clients, explain how that gets done step by step. Targeting, step by step. Onboarding an employee, step by step. And you want to, by the way, if you're doing this right, you'll have an agency that has 12 or less processes. If you only have one client, one deliverable, you'll have 12 or less processes that define your whole business. You're going to have to write those out step by step. And you're going to have to test them, by the way, with real people. And you may have to refine them based on the questions or things they do. But for the most part, if you can the way to tell for sure is if you can just give somebody that process and they come back and say, done, boss, without any questions, you've done it right. If they go, huh? I don't, sorry, how do I set up this again? Then you got to go back to the basics. But that's the way to tell, stress testing. Then you got to get real good at bringing on good people who can execute your systems. And once you get that in place, by the way, once you have a tight, narrow niche, and you have systems and you have good people, suddenly you can go from about 0 to 100 in your deliverable. And by the way, you want to systematize everything, including your communication, including how you onboard people, including the emails you send them, including the reporting you send them, including the client gifts if you're like us and send them client gifts. The whole thing has to be McDonaldized. But you do those 3 things, and what happens is when you have a tight niche, and when you got systems in place, and when you got really cool people to manage it, suddenly what will happen is 100 clients is easier to manage than 5, because McDonald's just predictably is making the same burger over and over and over. And yeah, okay, if you want, right, the difference between custom and customization is somebody says, can I have an omelet? And you say yes, maybe AdWords, or they say, do you make roast chicken or a steak? That might be a web design. You say, yeah. McDonald's, when you McDonaldize it, you say, yes, I can put extra pickles on your burger, or yes, we can make it without ketchup, or yes, we can take the onions off, but you're only getting a burger, right? So when you understand that little distinction, it's a very, very powerful thing, and it will allow you to take what it really does more than anything. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read Eli Goldratt, Theory of Constraints. I haven't, but a lot of my mentors actually have referenced that book a lot, so I feel like I kind of read it. And they talk about the biggest limiting factor in a business is not by like how much you can grow. There's a constraint there, and when you remove the constraint, the business or your life or whatever you're trying to do will ultimately grow. And the biggest constraint, by the way, that most people don't realize is at that point when you got a couple of clients is you're bogged down in delivery every time you get a client. So when you systematize the delivery and you systematize the handling of clients, man, you remove the restrictor. I'm just doing this a lot. Let's just do this for a while. And then the whole thing kicks ass and scales a whole bunch. So I gotta go run a little bit. My chickens are running around for this video. I don't know if you guys can see this. I just want to show you a little bit what's going on in Frankie Finn's world. We're growing all our own food right now and trying to be much more sustainable to the planet. I got chickens. There's my big white cock over there hanging out in their coop that they sleep in at night. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. I know you learned a lot. You saw my big white cock. We've bonded. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and like it and all that. And if you're not already, there's tons of good stuff in here. I would check out some of the trainings on dramatic demonstrations. That's a really good one. And also the unfair sales advantage. Those will change your life. And they're very, very simple to implement. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. May the force be with you.